What up guys, Fojo here, and today I'm going to be addressing issues with server merges. We recently merged with Orofena, and I want to go over what my thoughts are on it and what I thought about the good pieces of it, the pieces that aren't so great, and kind of adjusting and figuring out how to work in this new world that I'm in. So the first thing I kind of wanted to hit was player base, and so I came from a server that had maybe 100 to 300 people online usually, so it wasn't a lot of people at all times. You could pretty much go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Not a huge, great place for people to get runs for dungeons or elite runs, but the tight knit community that was there was very good at it, and we were able to go and do all these things anyways. Elite runs, especially, we did a great job with those. Come to the new server though, there's tons of people doing dungeon runs. You can go on an expedition whenever you want. Elite runs are easy, and they're constantly being done. But there's more to it than just that. There's tons of people in towns now, and before I would see a few people in town, and now I see tons of people. If I don't see 20 or 30 people in town at least, it's a very slow time on the server. So it's a completely different world as far as player base goes. Ton more people, so it's nice to have a lot of people. It's added a lot of other changes in as well, having so many people around. Another thing I want to talk about was resources. Resources are much harder to find now. Not all of them. I can still find iron and things like that. But if I'm looking for star metal or orichalcum or any high-end material, it's going to be a stretch if I can find any. And then when I do see something laying around, I have to run to it to try and get to it first generally. There's usually somebody else looking for the same, trying to go for those materials as well, which is probably how New World was meant to be in the first place. But I'm just used to a low pop server that you go out, get the resources you need for the project you're working on, with a skill you're trying to level up, and being able to do so. So I either have to get really lucky on resources or just buy them off the market instead and spend the money to do so. So another thing I ran into was that this world has a whole different set of politics set up based on the factions and who's running what city. So on servers, there's always truces and treaties and people that want to not attack certain companies because they're friends with them, even if they're a different color. And so there's already previous set up faction agreements and truces on this server. So coming into it, it's interesting because even though we're with our faction, we don't have the ability to go take an area because they have a truce with somebody and they don't want to change the dynamics. That's kind of a hindrance on balancing the world. Everyone that's already here has kind of a set map of the way the world is set up, and they want to keep it that way. Incoming people, though, may want to change things up and start some wars. But no matter what, I think merges in the state of the map and how it works and how the different factions are set up is definitely a struggle. Even being a certain faction coming in trying to merge with the faction that you are that's already there proves difficult because they may not want to attack somebody specifically because they're friends with a certain company or they've made an agreement with them not to attack, and it makes it difficult to even have wars and have your faction back you up. And so for the fourth topic, I want to talk about the economy. The economy is so much different in a world that has high population. Coming from a low pop server, literally everything you had you could sell for a profit if you were willing to go out, collect it, and bring it back and sell it. And on here, it's different because there's so many people gathering resources and getting things and putting them on the market that it's almost impossible to sell some of the things that you used to sell or sell certain items at all. Certain items only sell for 0.01 and you're not going to be able to sell it whatsoever unless you have thousands of it. And so with that, you're only going to be able to sell things now that are worth collecting, picking up, and have great perks on them, or a resource that people really, really need. Resources seem to be one thing that maintains. Good resources will sell no matter what, but it's interesting watching the economies blend because people from one server come in and want to jack up prices on certain items they used to sell, or they want to raise items that are in the server that are no longer selling for a lot. And so the fluctuation has been going on for about a week now, and it has no signs of stopping. I've sold things that were sold for 0.75 one day, and the next day they were selling for 0.05. So the fluctuation is real on the market. But overall, so far the merge has not been bad. I've really enjoyed having a lot of people on, being able to run elites, expeditions whenever you need to. But it's also a struggle trying to connect with the new people and blend factions and figure out the new politics of a server. That's all I really have for merges today. So let me know in the comments what you think about merges. Has your server merged? Is it going well? Is it going terrible? Let me know in the comments. What are the growing pains? What are the issues you see? But for now, that's all I have on merges. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you guys being here. Like and subscribe, it helps out a lot. We'll have more videos up soon. I hope to see you there.